the most budget-friendly VSETT. Oh, it's got some good pickup.
Today we're going to answer your questions about the VSETT 8 and the VSETT 8 Plus.
So yeah, it's like a 0 from here to here. It's got the same handlebars, it's got the lighted stem just like the 9 and the 10, but it's got swing arm suspension instead of that little 1-inch suspension that's on the 0 line, so that's going to be better.
And then the electronics are VSETT, but then this whole suspension's all new.
Yeah, exactly.
And this holding mechanism, so it's way better. This part.
I'm Jimmy Chang and I love riding all sorts of electric rideable devices. In this video, we'll be sharing with you the most affordable of the much anticipated VSETT electric scooter line, the VSETT 8, and we'll share with you what we learned about this feature-rich commuter scooter.
I don't think this was on the other one, was it? And so this is a similar bell to the Levy, but there's more space. I can actually fit my finger in there.
The scooter guru, Andrew, my son Ethan, and I traveled to the Pacific Northwest to learn about and to test the next generation of electric scooters called the VSETT. We poured numerous hours learning, examining, and riding these scooters over multiple days and nights. We've shared with you our thoughts on the VSETT 9 Plus, 10 Plus, and 11 Plus in prior videos, but don't think for 1 minute that we forgot about the VSETT 8. Yes, the VSETT 8 is not as fast or as flashy as the higher-end VSETT scooters, but it's the most portable and affordable of the group. The VSETT 8 has some great features that make it more than just another commuter scooter. So without further ado, let's join Andrew the Scooter Guru and Matt Boggs, admin for the Electric Scooter Evolution Facebook group, to learn more about the VSETT 8 from Nathan, owner of redrides.com.
And we have the man that knows everything about these scooters. So let's get started. The VSETT 8. Nathan, tell us about the VSETT 8 and the VSETT 8 Plus.
So the VSETT 8 and 8 Plus are an excellent commuter scooter with a focus on low maintenance, and that's why it's using a solid tire. So you don't have to deal with flat tire repairs and stuff. So it's really focused on a commuter scooter. It's relatively lightweight. It does have adjustable handlebars in case you're a shorter rider. And it's got all the features that you would need and want in a commuting scooter, including like excellent visibility for lights. You got a whole stem light, which is the only VSETT model that has the stem light. There's also the 2 headlights, and then there's tail lights back here that are also flashing brake lights. The other feature that the VSETT line has is blinkers, and they're built into the hand grips. So you push that button right there, and that turns on the left blinker. You push the other button and it turns on the right blinker, and the blinkers just time out eventually and they stop flashing. Every VSETT, including the entry-level VSETT 8, has a really nice front suspension, as opposed to, if you compare that to like a 09 or many of the other scooters with suspension, the suspension travel is really limited here. You have just a real short travel on suspension, which will tend to bottom out in a pothole or something on city streets. The VSETT 8 has a much more travel in the front suspension.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of the basic overview of the 8. The 8 Plus, really the only difference is the addition of a front motor. So the 8 Plus, the plus means dual motor. So this does have a 600 watt motor in the rear and a 600 watt motor in the front. And there's a button on the handles to be able to turn it in from single motor or dual motor. So that would be single motor, pressed in would be dual motor.
Okay.
Dual motor is nice for that extra torque you need to get up a steep hill.
In a nutshell, from my understanding, the VSETT 8 is a single motor, has a pneumatic tire in front, whereas the 8 Plus is a dual motor scooter with both solid tires, front and back. All right, yeah, now we're gonna open it up to the community. We've got Andrew and we've got Matt, and they're representing you guys. If they don't cover something that you are wondering about, feel free to leave it down in the comments below. But yeah, questions, you guys?
What are we looking at on top speed on this guy?
Top speed on the VSETT 8 or 8 Plus, about 24 to 26 miles per hour. So it's right there, perfect for a commuting scooter. We actually have a couple different models of the VSETT 8. We have the VSETT 8, which will get you a 16 amp hour battery. Spec is 34 miles. but real world, you can expect somewhere right around 20 miles range on the VSETT 8. We also, RevRides is doing a VSETT 8R, which is the biggest battery option in the VSETT 8. And it's still the single motor VSETT, just the biggest battery. So it's called the VSETT 8R. And that one has a spec of about 55 miles. So you can expect probably 30 to maybe upwards of 40 miles on that one.
Real world range.
Real world range.
And that's an LG battery?
Yes, that's an LG battery. So the VSETT 8R is a 21 amp hour battery.
Okay.
The VSETT 8 Plus only comes in one battery option, and it's the 16 amp hour battery, the smaller battery. And that's because you have a second motor, so you have a second controller in there, and there's not enough room for that extra battery.
And how many volts is it?
It's a 48 volt scooter.
48 volts, okay.
I was curious, a few people on our page have had concerns about stepping on these charging ports because they were originally on the side and they ended up moving them to the top.
We moved them to the top mostly for protecting them during a crash, or even just if it's in the back of your car sliding around. We found that the charging ports on the side would easily get hit on the road and scraped off, and then you would have to be getting into the wiring and soldering and fixing and replacing those charging ports. This is a really protected spot for the charging ports. There is, I guess the negative side is it could get water in it easier, or if you lost the caps, you can get dirt and debris in there, and it would be harder to get it out. You'd have to blow it out with like an air nozzle. RevRides does offer a screw-on charging port cover for these that you would never have to worry about the cap popping off while you're riding. So this is the Nfc Reader, and it also displays your voltage. So it's a safety feature or a security feature on these scooters. All the VSETT scooters have this card reader. So when you power it on, you need the card. So you can keep this card in your pocket or on your keychain, and you can't turn it on without the special key card that's coded to this scooter. Very similar to the Zero line, the VSETT 8 has this threaded handlebar. So you unthread that, and then it's spring loaded, so you have to pull the spring out to fold it. They also collapse, so that'll go down, folds, and then you can see how that has a nice handle now.
Oh yeah.
You can get a good grip on that to pull it, to unlatch it, and then it snaps in the lower position as well. Yeah, so then you can pick it up in the latch position. It's great.
So compared to the Zero line, what are some of the main differences between the VSETT 8 and the Zero scooter?
So one of the really nice things that we like about the VSETT line is this kick plate in the rear, which is also a carry handle. So if you get to like a flight of steps and you don't want to fold the scooter to carry it, you can just pick it up, with that handle. And then for the kick plate, like it's a nice for your foot. So when you're riding, you can kind of have a stance like that, or flat down here. But it's kind of nice to be able to adjust and put your foot up here. The Zero line doesn't have that option because the fender is right there, and the fenders, if you tend to step back here, you're going to break the fender off. So that's just an extra nice feature, making it a little bit more durable and a little less chance that you would accidentally step on the fender.
The most budget-friendly VSETT. People worry about this front port, but I would never stick my foot up here. The furthest my foot is going to go here. This is the smallest deck of the VSETT, but you can still push your foot all the way to the front, and you're never worrying about hitting that the charge ports because they're on the side of it. Most of the VSETTs, my foot's not even close to the front. This one is the smallest deck, so my foot is closer to the front, but it's got that little stem, the locking stem part, where it blocks your foot from even coming close to that charging port. This is a speed test on the VSETT 8. The most budget-friendly VSETT. Oh, it's got some good pickup. 20. 21. The speedometer is a little bit off. But it hit 22.
For a commuter scooter, the VSETT 8 is packed with great features from top to bottom. Some of our favorites include an NFC card reader lock, a volt reader, best-in-class commuter scooter suspension, a rear kick plate, and an IP54 water resistance rating. Is the VSETT 8 the perfect scooter? No, the built-in lights just won't help you see when you're commuting in dark conditions. And with a 190-pound rider on a cold day, we couldn't get the scooter to hit its advertised top speed in our tests. Is there a perfect electric scooter for your needs? Yes, and that's our goal, to help you find the best scooter for you and your situation. If you need a fun scooter for racing or going off-road, then check out our other high-performance scooter reviews that we've done on this channel. If you need a long-range commuter that offers comfort and features usually only found on high-performance scooters, then definitely consider the VSETT 8. Finding the perfect commuter scooter is a balance between the 3 Ps: performance, price, and portability, and the VSETT 8 strikes a balance between all of these. Be sure to check our full review on gotscooter.com or join the discussion on our Got Scooter Facebook group. Thanks for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you found anything of value, and remember, when you ride, be sure to wear your safety gear.